Hey everybody, how you doing? Good morning, this is Geebz here. Well, is it still morning? Yeah, it is for me. How's it? How you guys doing? All right, yes, I got bombed. Everybody telling me about Periphery. Of course, I'm also on all their fan social media pages and stuff, so I knew this was coming up. And so I just, I let the other more prominent reactors do their thing and let it marinate for a while. And so I decided I'm just going to do back to back. I'm going to do both of these Wildfire and Zagreus, I believe. So I want to thank you guys for hanging out. It's going to be a long one. Have your cup of coffee. I put I got my Death Wish coffee and my Death Wish thermos here, so this is going to last me for the whole thing. And I'm sorry, I did my first Twitch for my world music channel on video game OSTs. So like Hades and Doom Eternal, Final Fantasy, Persona 5. It was great. It was long. First time Twitch, some mistakes and stuff. The first 40 minutes of it is just blah, blah, blah. But if you're interested on how that turned out, I'll put that Twitch link down below. All right, guys, let's do this. The very first song from Periphery's release is going to be Wildfire. Let's do this. All right. Where do you start with this? I mean, everything from, the one thing that I know to expect from Periphery is that they are going to push every possible boundary, both engineering, production, composition, and their skill set. I think they've hit that level of skill set where the challenge is what not to write to become so much it's overwhelming. Because they obviously have that skill set. There are 4 sections of completely different hook. And what I mean is, yes, this is threaded together as a track, but each one of these little passages, I like to call them, are worthy of them being songs in of itself. They're, first of all, the guitar tone, I don't know what to say about that since I'm not like an aficionado on guitar sounds, but it sounds like what they have going on there is just insane, thick and rich, but there's this weird metallic edge in the back of it, and I don't know how they get that sound. I know that these guys use all that's available to them in technology to tweak and do things and stuff, but there is this weird little kind of like metallic vibe, like one of those cables that go up to like a power line. If you hit it, it goes boing, kind of a vibe, but it's not boing. Don't come for me for that. But it's there and it's heavy. Then there's another section where they do the semi-chromatic kind of. It's just mind-numbing. What I love about it is I think it's the humbleness of them going, we're going to give these guys something here to chew on, but we want to keep also ourselves excited about what we're doing as musicians, but package it in a way where it's still accessible to heavy metal is how I feel about it. The guy's vocals are absolutely mental as can be, and the drums. I mean, it's like, I'm not going to say anything more about how great they are because I think we're all very well aware that they're at that level. So it's just a matter of like soaking into this track and just getting into the heaviness of it. But that little, even the countdown of the drums, the guy stops for that like 2-bar turnaround. That authenticity is what makes this track, as intense as it is as a composition, they're my bros. You know what I mean? It's because they're right in front of you. They're doing it. They're hammering it out, God, that solo was so classy for the pounding, support track that's going on behind it. And what I loved about it, this is the engineering thing, is that you've got this genty shortcut, and he's letting that ring out with a reverb on it that's giving you this full-on ethereal vibe, metal ethereal kind of thing going on there. And also, before I kick back into it, man, some of the harmony arrangements, these guys, like I said, I already glammed about their skill set and everything early on, but not only are these vocal harmonies, the intervals that they're written in, so insane, but the chord changes. This is what I'm talking about with these guys. These guys will give us this, and then they go school it. And they get into this intricate playing that is just it's palatable, it's approachable. It's and what I mean by that is just for me, Joe Schmo listener, even though I'm a composer, it's accessible, and that's what's killing it for me.
When
You see? There it is, the peel away, the hidden elements that I talk about, that bubbles beneath what I believe, musicians like, those that are in Periphery, have noodling around in there, but they give us what they give us in accordance to the genres that they stay with and push forward to. Oh my God, that was so absolutely mental. I thought for a second they called in like the special teams unit, like Owain. If you're familiar with the artist Owain, I just went, that bass work. I could do a breakdown just of that. And my background is more jazz fusion, eclectic kind of vibes because of my uncle. My uncle did a lot of work. He co-produced Stan Getz's last album before he passed away and co-wrote that and stuff. So I'm rinsed pretty heavy in that style of music, But are you kidding me? Did you see me do this? I got full-on chicken skin. That was so badass. And look, I'm giddy. I'm sorry. I'm just telling you. This is what I get excited about. This is when sometimes I talk this way about, can't remember, Polyphia. Because these musicians are pushing forward, taking risks and chances. Now, not everybody's going to dig into it, but I'm probably going to go back and listen to that section in of itself probably about a dozen times. You see, that was like the final, kick in the face. Like, oh, by the way, all that fancy stuff we did was cool, but we're still Periphery. That's how I felt about it. Man, that was so badass. And something else, too, I'm sorry, I'm still marinating. I'm still halfway cooked from that little section, that fusion jazz section. What I loved about the production in there, too, is that there was these little intricate digital things happening. There's a small little sequence. He added a little bit, not at the very beginning. We kind of rinsed in that and just kind of got ourselves into it. I think on the last third of that pass, there was a little introduction of some, lo-fi kind of loopy sounds and stuff. And then, of course, they do use a little bit of keyboard work to back up their stuff here. But I do want to finish off on that. The drumming. It's just so absolutely incredible. But before I get on to Zagreus, I do want to say once again, those background vocals and this singer's capabilities are just otherworldly to me. But because of the intensity of the musicianship and stuff, they really did push the envelope on how many layers in the background harmonies they were going to add there. And they're there. You just have to you close your eyes and really dig into the mix. The engineering was absolutely just next level. So, when you get all those guys in a room, you just got to sit back and just go, put on the hazmat outfit, Sonic hazmat outfit and just go, what are we in for, And then finally, I'd say the hook of the track was the most, even though there were some incredible chord changes in there, the way he approached it vocally and the way that hooks and the melody stood out there was at least that one time in the track where I was going, oh. Okay, wow, I'm gelling it because there's a lot going on there. All right, guys. So now I'm going to kick over to, let me do this here. Here we go. It's like I don't even want to stop, but I got to at some point. So it looks like in the 2 tracks, they released 2 at one time. I don't know how that, I don't know anything about marketing, and old school days would be 1, wait a while. So I feel like this track is probably a little more of an ode to the root maybe of the audience, of their fan base, because this definitely has the heaviest and the darkest of the bottoms out of the both tracks. That play on rhythm again, the zip line, for those of us who are not, rhythmically inclined to count that off, even though I think I got it. I'm not going to mention it and make a fool out of myself, just in case I'm wrong. To me, the joyride, the zip line, is the hi-hat is keeping us locked in. Out of everything that's happening there, with the intricate syncopation and rhythm that's being played, that it's like it's almost like it almost feels like we're gonna say we're gonna give them this, so they shall hang on to the song. And but once again, I want to focus on one quick thing, and then I'll split, and we'll get back into this. I saw a video from the other guitar player, not Misha, but I'm sorry, I'm just old man, pass please with my memory. And I watched how he formulated his riffs using the extended intervals of chords, which gives you the opportunity to really move around and put in chord changes in there and answer backs. That kind of vibe and stuff like that, instead of being a little more straightforward, chuggy, that kind of stuff. And this is where, for me, I just kind of glow on this, because yes, this is as genty and dark and heavy as it can be, but as a musician, and I'm listening to these notes, I'm going, this is some intricate stuff here. This is not like, gee, I'm going to go learn this overnight and I'm going to put a cover up on it. Okay, and then this is going to be the last stop for the rest of the track, I promise you. The one thing that they've managed to focus on through all of this incredible is, like I said in the last song, they write these approachable, accessible hooks. Now, it's very light-loaded, and what I mean by that is there's a chord change in there. Maybe you see me go, okay, I wasn't expecting that. Where it gives you kind of a lift. So the chorus, emotionally for me, is a place where it gives you this false sense of comfort, in the sense that the track is just so grinding up until then. You feel like, oh, now I'm above the clouds. Okay, cool. Da, 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 and boom, and they dive back under and they give us the people's elbow and stuff. So, okay, I promise I won't say anything now for the rest of the track until the end.
'Cause we're falling apart, you and I. Will it ever be? Will we ever live another day in honesty? 'Cause we're falling apart right from the start, you and I. Will it ever be? Will we ever live in honesty? 'Cause we're falling apart, you and I. Will it ever be? Will we ever live another day in honesty? 'Cause we're falling apart right from the start, you and I. So paint that picture to sleep at night. No regard for another's life. We'll be just fine. So paint that picture to sleep at night. No regard for another's life. We'll be just fine.
Okay, I lied. I had to stop. I know there's something left there, but I know I'm going to lose some of the things I want to say. So I just got through saying how they bring us above the clouds and all that, and then all of a sudden, as I come back in, they brought us beyond the clouds into an atmospheric vibe. That's just lucky for me and how it is that I'm breaking this down. When you hear the texture and the nuance changes in that particular passage, is when I hearken to when I hark. Got that from Ren and Stimpy. To when I heard one of Periphery's first tracks that had the string arrangements. I believe it's Misha that's doing that. And when I listen to that, and when I listen to the intricacies and some of the arrangements that are going on vocally, now I'm not saying, I don't know who wrote that, but it is done by an arranger feel that has an orchestral brain. You kind of understand what I'm saying? So it could be the bass player, it could be the drummer, it could be the singer, it could be the guitar players. But that uniqueness to me is what's giving it such an emotional response when I listen to it as a composer. Where all of a sudden my brain just turns into a sieve and I'm like going, man, that is like a fat, midsection string kind of arrangement there. Not trying to be that, but in the sense of how it's arranged by somebody who has that kind of knowledge. And also the engineering on this. When you hear sometimes it takes a year, 2 years to put together an album, could you imagine sitting at the desk or at the console, wherever these guys are doing their mixing and stuff like that, say, okay, at this point, and then at this point, and then over here, and then the engineer and everyone's going, or if it's, somebody in the band is going, yeah, oh shit, I got to do it now, and they decide to go into this lo-fi texture of the drums, and there are it sounds like some accented textures with the keyboard that's happening. They're not keyboard as in piano, but pad sounds or ethereal kind of vibes that kind of snake in and out. And they really keep us in there. And the melody and this guy's voice, I've already said it already. All the musicians, everybody's just unbelievable. This is just a body of work I'm talking about. And just as I had mentioned, they went up into the atmosphere saying, you're free, and no, you're not. just happened? Oh my God. Okay, so I guess that's the end of the track. I opened my mouth too soon on my last stop. There it is. There it was. And I just felt like all of a sudden I went into one of my, OST game reactions from my other channels, because there's a lot of that. Dark, Nordic, kind of gothic kind of vibe there. I just, I guess it's Misha. Listen, dude, get a hold of me. DM me. Either you're going to parachute in on a Twitch and we're going to go listen to some OSTs and kind of glam and geek out, kind of Radio Shack style. I have watched some of your interviews. And let's talk about this, because that was incredible. I think Periphery has just kind of... I think the releases thus far that I've heard this year, which was the last... this one, and I'm sorry, I have to look at this really quick because my brain hurts, and I have not been as tuned in as I'm getting a little older. And the Sleep Token, I think this is the year of pushing those levels, those elements in production moving forward. And I'm so excited for the future of this, because by these powerful bands giving us the accessibility of ambiance and stuff. Not that there's many other bands that do it, but just right now that's on the cusp of this is 2023, this is what's being released, and they introduce these particular flavors. To me, it's like what I used to say about, or I have said about Polyphia, how Tim Henson and his production is expanding the possibility of guitar players to get involved in a different type of production. Because there's tons of great, fantastic guitar players who might be stuck in a little bottle. Maybe they're just, in a zone or something, and they say, oh, you mean I can add traps, and I can do this, and I can do that. Or in the case of this, if you're a heavy metal guitar player and a musician, bass, drums, and stuff, oh, I can do this and stuff. And it's not like this is all, specifically new. I mean, we've had great killer musicians and bands, Ginger, and God, just so many and stuff, but I'm just glad that I'm around to get to do this for you guys. I know this was a long-ass video. Thanks for hanging out. If you please buy me a cup of coffee. I think I drank this whole thing. All the links for the cup of coffee is down below. And if you're interested in the Twitch thing, I am going to start doing some metal stuff on Twitch, but right now I'm focusing on the game OST stuff. But I did do some Mick Gordon there. That link will be down below. All right, guys. Did not plan on doing a double Dutch fudge here on Sunday, but I did, and it's still morning for me. It's 10:30, and I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you're having a great long weekend. You guys take care. I'll see you later. All right.